Hello, adventurers. Have you ever wondered why big cities sit by rivers? London is a perfect example. It sits right on the River Thames. For thousands of years, this river was a superhighway for boats, food, clothes, all sorts of amazing things. But that highway made a problem. How could people cross the busy, wide river without getting wet? It was a long way around. Swimming wasn't a good option in chilly English weather. The first people in London, the Romans, had a brilliant idea. They were amazing builders and engineers. They knew exactly what to do. About 2,000 years ago, they looked at the Thames and decided to build a bridge right here. The spot was a bit shallower. The ground on both sides was firm enough to build on, so they gathered lots of wood and got to work building the very first London Bridge. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. It was a simple wooden bridge that let people cross easily. It let horses cross. It let carts cross. Imagine being one of those first people to walk across. Are you ready for a mind-boggling fact? The London Bridge we see today isn't the first, second, even the third. In fact, there have been many, many different London bridges over the last 2,000 years. After the first wooden bridges of the Romans, the most famous one was a marvelous stone bridge built in medieval times. It was so strong and wide that people didn't just walk across it. They lived on it. It had hundreds of houses, shops, even a church. It was like a busy, floating street. This medieval London Bridge stood for over 600 years. Life on the bridge was a constant adventure. Buy bread from a baker, get shoes mended. Look out into the swirling River Thames below. It was also very crowded. The roadway was so narrow that getting across could take a whole hour. For a long time, heads of traders were displayed on spikes at the bridge entrance. Yikes! The city needed a new solution, which led to the most unbelievable chapter in the bridge's story yet. So what do you do with a giant historic stone bridge that is slowly sinking into a river? You can't just throw it away. Well, London came up with one of the most surprising and brilliant plans you could ever imagine. In the 1960s, they decided to sell the bridge. But who would want to buy a whole bridge? The answer was an American businessman named Robert P. McCulloch. He had a fantastic, slightly bonkers idea. Move the entire bridge, piece by piece, across the Atlantic to America. It sounds like a story from a fantasy book, doesn't it? But it really happened. Workers in London carefully took the bridge apart, stone by stone. They numbered every granite block so they'd know exactly how to put it back together again. It was like the world's biggest, heaviest jigsaw puzzle. All 10,276 numbered stones were packed into crates and loaded onto a massive ship. The bridge then set sail on an incredible journey of thousands of miles, from London, England, to the sunny state of Arizona in the USA. When the stones arrived in Arizona, they weren't put over a river. They were rebuilt in the middle of the desert. So today, if you visit Lake Havasu City, you can walk across the very same London Bridge that once stood over the River Thames. It's now a popular tourist attraction in the middle of the desert. Now here is something that confuses lots and lots of people, even grown-ups. When visitors come to London, they often take a picture of a very grand and beautiful bridge with two tall towers and a roadway that lifts up, and they say, "Look, it's London Bridge." But guess what? They're actually looking at a different bridge. That spectacular bridge is called Tower Bridge. It is located very close to London Bridge, which is why so many people get them muddled up. So, remember the trick. If it has two big towers, it's Tower Bridge. The real London Bridge, the modern one, is much plainer to look at. But even though it might not look as fancy as its neighbor, its story is so much longer and in some ways, even more exciting. The name London Bridge belongs to this special place and its incredible 2,000-year history, reminding us that sometimes the most important things aren't the fanciest, but the ones with the best stories.